Hello, let's do a trade recap. I'm definitely looking at this and just being like, because this is after my weekly recap, and I won. Let me show you. I won 5 out of 6 trades, which means I had an 80% win rate last week. But I took all those trades on demo, and keep in mind, like obviously, I'm still demo trading gold. Nasdaq, but I got 3 wins on gold. But also have to keep in mind, like after seeing that, I should not be like trying to force trades. I should just stick with doing what I'm doing and not get too carried away. But yeah, there's another 2 wins. But anyway, we'll go over them. So obviously, price had retraced back to the area that I was wanting it to retrace to. So I was wanting to see price correct all the way back down to here. It's now formed some bullish structure, so we can look at taking some entries. And I was looking at this entry last night, but I didn't end up taking it. This one here, just because I saw this wick and this candle, and I was like, that looks awful. So I didn't end up taking it, but I'll show you a little bit more. Actually, let's break it down on the 1 hour, and then we'll go lower into time frames. But I'm gonna use my little arrow. So we obviously ended up hitting this area. We ended up below this area, and this is the momentum point where we wanted to see price have some bullish movement up. We ended up forming almost equal lows in terms of the candle closes, but it was still a lower low. We ended up hitting this, or having this area as the high. We made a lower high, we made a higher low, and we ended up pushing up. We made an indication, and then we corrected back down, and then we got that continuation in New York session, which is absolutely great. We moved down to the 15-minute to have a little bit more of a look. So we ended up getting this candle, which actually gave me a little bit more confidence in getting in. I looked at that candle, I was like, okay, cool. I feel pretty confident getting in above this area because of that candle, because it's obviously showing, okay, buys are really strong and price looks like it's going back up. I'm going to go down into the 5-minute. And yeah, I didn't wait for a break of structure. I didn't wait for anything. I just waited for price to get above the level, and I entered in. Yeah, that was pretty much it. And then I just targeted the high 1 hour candle closes and had the stop loss below that low that we had made. And obviously since then price has pushed up, which is just great. But that's totally fine. This is something that I was looking at today because we're in London session right now. So I don't want to break this trade down, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, cool. But again, I don't trade London session, even though obviously there's a big push in London session, but I don't trade London session because it just does me dirty in my opinion. But obviously sometimes it looks great, but I still won't forget how many times I got faked out in London. Like, it's been so many times. And like throughout back testing, just London just proved to just not be a good time to trade. But anyway, yeah, this is definitely a good setup. I really should have just taken it, but after seeing that candle, I just was not confident because I was like, okay, sellers are really strong. But maybe I should have scaled down into the 15-minute and seen, okay, we still got some really strong buys here, and yeah, I don't know, but that was one opportunity that I had observed that I just was not confident enough in taking because of that candle. Let's go into Nasdaq. I don't think I saw any. Yeah, I didn't see any opportunities on Nasdaq for yesterday. Maybe I could have, because where are we? What's going on? Okay, we've broken the low here. I probably could have seen this setup here. We got this indication, correction, and continuation, but price low-key hasn't really continued, and because it got later into New York session, I just didn't feel confident. But still, we could see price making a lower high here and continuing back down in New York Open, which would be ideal, and it not breaking this high, but we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, we got this indication and correction, somewhat of a continuation. Could have potentially taken an entry from down here, but because it was late in New York, I was like, we're not going to get the momentum, so I'm just going to leave it. But yeah, that was the other setup. So pretty short, pretty sweet. Not too much to really go into depth on here, except from for that gold trade. That wicked candle really did just, did not do my head very well when it comes to being confident in a trade. Let's actually have a look at it on the 4 hour to get a better idea. So I'm guessing that's what it looked like on the 4 hour. Just double check. Yeah, that's what it was like on the 4 hour. But I don't think it would have been a 4 hour candle close though. But whatever. It's cool. At least my analysis was right. So a win is a win. Let's do the journaling. Can take this off. Okay, so this would have been for Tuesday. Trade recap. Okay, we'll do gold. Bullish ICC. Reason for sitting out. Okay, I could have entered, but the 1 hour doji. What is it? It's like a shooting star. I wish I knew these off the top of my head. It's almost like a doji shooting star. I think it's called a shooting star, but I don't know. A hammerhead or whatever, I don't know. But it was kind of somewhat of a shooting star because it had a way higher wick at the top. Made me unconfident, but price still pushed to my TP. Love that. Nasdaq, we just got that indication, and we got the somewhat of a continuation in, what was it, at the end of New York. So we had a bearish ICC, didn't get the continuation until late New York, so the momentum wasn't there. Emotions before and after, calm and chill. Did I follow my plan? Yes, but maybe should have entered on gold. Mistakes noticed. Could have entered. I don't know if the wicked 1 hour candle was a valid reason. Yeah. Okay, discipline rating, I would still give myself an 8. Key takeaways, tried focus on gaining confidence and taking setups that are clear. Because that gold setup, it was somewhat clear. I think that 1 hour candle close was a valid reason to sit out. However, I could have just taken that as like a factor because the trend was bullish. It had hit that point that I was waiting for, that higher time frame correction, and it is making a continuation on the 1 hour based off of that higher time frame ICC setup. And yeah, price is just continuously breaking highs. Perhaps what I could have done was have my stop loss at that low, at like the previous low, but I don't think that would have held. We'll have a look when I take the photo, but I don't think that would have been a good but whatever. What I'll do better tomorrow is take what price action is saying as Bible. Screenshot, we'll go Nasdaq because that's what's open. Where's all of my marking up? Is that it? Damn, my chart really does look simple. I'm gonna point it out because it's that like simple to mark up. Okay, and then how do I make this darker? Highlight that. Hopefully that doesn't confuse me later on when I go to do my when I go to do my weekly recap. Okay, and then gold, and then we can have a look at what it would have looked like if I had put my stop loss at a different position. So wait, yeah, no, that wasn't the right. Was that the right spot? I think what I'm saying is I could have put it here to see if price was going to correct even more. I guess that would have been like a safer entry. But I didn't, and that wouldn't have been a good spot wise. Um, yeah, and I don't think there's any other targets that would be really good to target, to be honest. So I'm pretty happy with the placement. It was still based off of the 1 hour low, so maybe I could have taken that and been like, okay, I can have higher conviction because it's based off of the 1 hour low. Perhaps. But yeah, and that also doesn't break the previous low. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for my trade recap. Very, very short, very sweet. Hopefully, you took something away from this. If you have any advice, please leave in the comments. That would be much, much appreciated. Hopefully, you had an amazing Tuesday and your trades all went to TP. And yeah, I'll speak to you later today. Bye.